Elliot Forrest with harpist Bridget Kibbey, who is coming to Nyack to play on November 11th. It's so great to see you, and thank you for agreeing to come play for us.
I am so excited, Elliot. It's great to see you. We've known each other a long time, actually.
We
I was
have.
at the other day, so it's so fun to play on your wonderful series and to see this wonderful candlelit experience come to life.
Yeah, we'll try not to set you on fire, and we're going to put a lot of candles around you. How did you come to play the harp?
So I actually came from a family where all of us were encouraged to take piano lessons. It's very common for harpists to start on piano. So I started on piano at the age of 3. And then growing up in Northwest Ohio, my family attended a church service in the middle of nowhere, literally. And I saw this golden harp when I was 9 years old in the front of this church. And my jaw hit the floor. And my dad noticed and suggested I play. But of course, he regretted that because he had to move it around, pay for one, all the things you do as a parent of a harpist. But it really stuck. I knew at a very young age I wanted to be a harpist after having encountered the instrument.
I played sousaphone first when I was growing up, so I was also very young, and it was very heavy and very hard to get around. How heavy is an average harp?
It's about 80 pounds. I like to think of it, Elliot, as a fourth grader. You can kind of, if it weren't so cumbersome, you could throw it over your shoulder, but it's hollow. So it's not as heavy as people think. It's a little bit unwieldy. So you definitely need a hatchback, a big car. I have a Toyota RAV. It barely fits. No one believes that a harp fits in that car, but it just fits, which is great.
Can you hail a cab with a harp?
I was actually with a Juilliard student recently. I was working with her on a concert, and it was so fun because she did call an Uber and just, put something in the notes like I have a large instrument. And I've never done it, but I mean, kids these days have no problem. They're hailing cabs, sticking it in the back of an Uber. But I've always been fortunate in New York that we have professional harp haulers. They're usually husbands of harpists or percussionists that have, the vehicle for the gear, and they're very careful with the instrument. So I prefer that route, but you can.
You are going to play in Nyack for us music of Bach, in addition to music from your new album. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I've just released a new record with Pentatone called Crossing the Ocean, and I'm going to be like spotlighting a few tracks from that record. And the premise of the record was asking composers to look back on their native folk music they grew up hearing. Each of the composers hail from 6 different countries, completely different backgrounds. We have Paquita de Rivera, David Bruce, to Kati Agoch. So you have this melange of Milonga meets Joropo meets this evocation of an old British music box to Canadian folk music, which I was not aware of via Kati. So it'll be kind of these snapshots of different cultures and the synthesis of past and present as each composer dialogues about the music they grew up hearing, even though they've since immigrated to the US and have now kind of adopted different circumstances. So that's fun. And then, of course, I just love playing solo Bach. And when you said Candlelight, I knew that we had to play some of those transcriptions on the program to delve into more of the inner excavation. Also playing in a church, I thought it'd be great to play Toccata and Fugue in D minor to kind of set this dramatic tone for the recital.
There's a trend that we're a part of with these candlelight concerts, that it's more than just hearing beautiful music from a world-class player, that there's an environment that is set for the audience. What do you think about that trend?
I think it's incredible, and especially what you've created at Arts Rock, and that the resonance of the space is inherently wonderful, but you're also creating a tone with this candlelit experience. I think what's special about that is there's a focus where you're able to kind of sit inside the resonance. I love the harp in a setting like this because the resonance is big enough in a space that's just wood, natural materials, that it surrounds the audience like a hug. So I think being part of this sound cocoon is very exciting. And then the sense of, again, that cocoon with the lighting of more intimate lighting, I think there's something that invites the listener to go into a bit of an internal excavation, sacred space to take in what they're hearing. And I think that's I think one of the most beautiful ways that I enjoy taking in music. So I think it's going to be this audience and myself on the same plane of experience as we both enjoy the resonance of the harp, which has such a unique sound and resonance in this incredible space.
Harpist Bridget Kibbey, November 11th in Nyack. We are so looking forward to having you here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Elliot. I can't wait to meet you all on November 11th.